Welcome to the first edition of BuyUaBeer, the footy edition, where I buy a football fan a pint and we talk a beautiful game until the last sip. There's no fluff, there's no filter, it's just pure football passion, pardon me. Let's get into it. So, my name is Suraj. I'm here today with Alagan. We're here to talk about football. I want to get down and gritty into, Alagan, why did you really start watching football? What was that point in your life that really got into it? But we're going to dive down deeper into it. I'm really excited. It's our first episode, so we did something really special. We got some Coronas. That's the beer that we're having today. Alagan, is that one of your favorite go-to?
It is my go-to. Corona with a lime, always.
I mean, you can't go wrong. On a hot summer day, you throw that lime in there and it just goes down, right? Well, why don't we do this? Cheers, and let's get started. Cheers to you all. So, Alagan, I'm glad you're here. Let's dive right in. You watch football. I see you're wearing the jersey, the infamous jersey. You got the Portugal on one side, the number 7 on the other. Now, for the fans who might not know, but who is the player on the back of your jersey?
The greatest of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, fair enough. I know people are already going nuts. There's already people losing their minds in the comment section, probably going, "Are you kidding me?" But before you lose your minds, calm down. There's a lot more. We'll get into that as well. But Alagan, I'm glad that we're getting started on this. Tell me, man, what was your earliest memory of football? Like, how old were you? Anything you can tell us about it?
I think the earliest significant football that I've watched was the 2010 World Cup in South Africa.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old at the time, and at the time, me, my older brother, my dad, we were all big soccer players, huge soccer fans.
Yeah.
So the three of us watched it together. My dad was very, very excited about it, and he got my older brother a Kaká kit.
Okay.
And then he got me a Ronaldo kit. Not this one. It was from 2010. And we were children at the time. We were 8, 9 years old, me and my brother, and the shirts were like dresses, but we still wore them because it was our first ever football shirts.
Absolutely.
And we were so happy when we got those shirts, and we wore it to sleep, wore it all the time. But anyways, that was the first time we watched football, and to me, my earliest experience, I just remember watching all these nice players from that tournament, like Robin, Casillas, Ramos, all these excellent players,
absolute legends.
But one team that I absolutely fell in love with, maybe it was their determination, maybe it was how they played the game, but it was Germany. It was I just loved Philipp Lahm, Schweinsteiger, and this is a crazy take, but one of my favorite players all time, and probably the player that made me fall in love, was Miroslav Klose.
Miroslav Klose.
I'm
going to interrupt and say, it's funny you say that because my first Germany international shirt was Miroslav Klose.
Oh, wow.
I still have it till this day. I still rep it as hard as I can. Legend. Please, continue, sir.
Yeah, he just would, bang in goals like it was no one's business. And I fell in love with him. I thought he was amazing. And his celebration where he did his frontward flip, It was so cool after scoring every goal. And I just fell in love with the game. And more so on the game and how I fell in love with it, it was the passion and the instruments they played at South Africa, the vuvuzelas.
That's right, the vuvuzelas.
And the atmosphere and just how connected everyone was because of this tournament. I fell in love. I never looked back.
Absolutely, man. And for the audience, if you haven't seen it or you don't know what Alagan here is talking about, 2010 World Cup was a big one. You had all the favorite teams qualified. They all came out. And for a lot of people, it was the final year for a chance to win a World Cup. Miroslav Klose was one of the final years of his. Is he going to come back? Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. There was a lot of it. People were going for it. Iker Casillas, coming back on wins from the Euro Cup, and the team is absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
Vuvuzelas, people are losing their mind. We can't hear anything. The stadiums are deafening sound. Yeah. South Africa is going through so much criticism for building these stadiums, but football must go on.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing tournament, and yeah. So that was the first one that you really saw.
there might have been a match. here and there beforehand, but that like solidified it. That was the first tournament I like actually sat and watched.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful tournament.
Absolutely, man. Let me ask you though, watching Germany in that tournament, you know, falling in love with that team, was there a moment that perhaps you saw where you were like, you know, that you can remember, recall, really define it down to, you know, a moment? Maybe a great play, a finish, or a goal.
There was this time. So at the time, Maradona was Argentina's coach.
Yes.
And
that's right.
At the time, there was this young wonder kid, like tearing it up, and his name is Thomas Muller. And Maradona like talked. He was like talking bad about Muller, saying like, "Oh, like why is this player at this press conference?
Yeah.
Why is he like here?" Like just straight up disrespect. And Muller's just sitting there. He's like young, 20, 21 at the time.
Yep. Very
just
young
sitting, very young. And he the next game scored against Argentina. And he did his like trademark celebration of just pumping his fists.
That's right.
Like he does. It almost seems like he just doesn't know what to do when he scores, but he does it so often. And it was that moment I was like, wow, like you just silenced everyone. Whatever people were talking about, you literally just silenced it with that one goal.
Absolutely.
And I remember that, and
you know what? Funny enough, I do remember that. And Thomas Muller has come such a long way.
Yeah.
He's won so many things as well, and absolutely great Bavarian with a beer. I know you love German players, so I know what that means to you. But let me ask you, because you touched on Maradona, right? Every hero needs an adversary. So I remember when I fell in love with football, I knew who my hero was, and then the opposing baddie. The guy who opposed him, where even they may be a great player, team, coach, whatever it is, but there's always an adversary. I'm sure there must have been a player or a coach, apart from Maradona, maybe you mentioned him, but anyone else that you remember for that tournament where you were like, the baddie for you, where you're like, I'm not a fan, man. I hate how good he plays, or just terrible, anything like that?
more so not a fan.
We always ask, who's a fan? I want to know who's not a fan of. From that competition. If you can remember, we can always pass it.
I have an answer, but it's like not to your question. I became a fan of this player because he was such a villain. Like because everyone was like, he was
infamous.
Yeah, it was like everyone was like, oh my god, he doesn't like deserve to be here. He's not that good. Like he's overrated, and that was Arjen Robben, and he like destroyed in that World Cup, and everyone was just like I don't know. There was just no one wanted to see him win.
Yeah.
Especially when they made the finals, no one wanted to see him win. But I saw him, and I saw how he played the whole tournament, and I was like, "Wow!"
He did great. Netherlands that year did really great, and honestly, I don't think anybody really counted them to make it that far.
Yeah.
As much as I love Arjen Robben too, like great player. Bursting down the left wing, like you can't hate on him.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. He was so good that you did have to hate him because he was not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people were like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like his appearance. He didn't like look like a footballer. Like he had like the bald look. Just kind of looked like an average person. But he was a player. I don't know. Yeah.
You know, speaking on him, I still don't understand why Chelsea ever let him go.
I mean, it works for me. Yeah. I support Bayern Munich. I am more than grateful for Arjen Robben.
You know what? That's a perfect segue into my next question. What's your team and why Bayern Munich? What made you choose that? There's 100 clubs, more than 100 clubs in the world. What made it Bayern Munich?
So after the World Cup in 2010, so I wasn't really into club soccer at this point.
Yeah.
And then I realized all the players that I liked just played for Bayern Munich. And then back then there was a striker who scored hat tricks every single game. It seemed like I was watching a game, he'd score 3-4 goals, and he was insane. And his name was Mario Gomez. And for some reason, these niche German strikers, they call my name because I love Mario Gomez.
Mario Gomez is phenomenal.
Yeah, and he scored so many goals. And I just watching that Bayern Munich team play from the 2011, 2012. Like after they lost the Champions League final against Inter.
Yeah.
That was that team. I just fell in love with all those players and haven't changed.
You know what? It's funny you bring that up because if you look at Bayern, the last 10 years, they've had some phenomenal prolific strikers.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, you've already mentioned one, Mario Gomez.
Yeah.
And then you have, I'm not going to mention the obvious one,
Yeah.
the recent one, but we'll get there. You had Olic. You remember
Yeah.
how phenomenal Olic was too as well? Right now, you have, I'm sorry, you know the striker right now? I forget his name. I'll come back to it. But Lewandowski, the biggest one.
Yeah.
The greatest, probably, striker in the last 10 years that has... I know people will argue it's a Dortmund product, which he is. No lie there.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp did great developing him. But he spent a lot of time giving back to Bayern.
A lot of time,
So that's, one of... Arguably, should have won a Ballon d'Or as well.
Should have won 2.
I'm not saying anything. That's up to you guys to decide. But yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. Now, enjoy the beer as well, my friend. Please. Yeah. So, again, I gotta ask you, being a football fan, we have our teams that we support, but there's always certain matches that mean more. If it's a final or whatever, what do you think was the best match that you've ever watched?
Witness?
It has to be, if it's live or not, that's up to you. If you've been to a live game, and from your memory, that you'd be like, man, that's going down to the grave with me. I want to keep that in the old chamber back there.
Oh my God! Easy. As soon as you said that, easily. Germany's 7-1 win over Brazil.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Please.
So both my brothers, huge Brazil fans.
Yeah.
Like they grew up loving Neymar, loving Kaká. Like they like bleed Brazil. They love Brazil. So of course, when you're competing with your brothers, it means a lot more. So I was a Germany fan. And it was in their home ground, and I was like nervous because I was like, these guys are a very good team, home ground. Like the chance at the World Cup final is on the line here. And then off the rip, it becomes. So I think it was Klose who scored first, and then Muller. So it's 2-0.
Yeah. And
then Cruz had 2, and then when Klose scored it, I think he scored his second. I'm not sure if I have this correct.
Yeah.
But he scored and he beat R9's record for most goals in a World Cup.
That's right. You're absolutely right about that.
I went berserk for that because it was my favorite player, and then I could laugh in my brother's faces, tell them what's up, look who's celebrating in your own grounds.
That's right.
And that was an unreal moment because I remember screaming because that he scored, and he was
man, I love it.
And that he was the all-time leading goal scorer in the World Cup.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then that was that enough would have made my day, and then it ended up. It was 5 goals in 20 minutes or something like that. And then going into halftime, I was ecstatic. I remember this was the early times of Instagram. I was posting all over my Instagram, as a little kid, just Miroslav Klose's face. And I was so happy that happened. And then afterwards, I had that game on YouTube downloaded on my iPod, and I used to watch it consistently, and I memorized the commentary because I love that game so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? That's real passion, because when you get to that level where you're memorizing things, you know how much that means to you.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Miroslav Klose looking for that all-time goal-scoring record in international competitions and beating that R9 record. I was with you, man. Yeah. I'm a Klose fan. I was screaming. I had the jersey on too as well. I'm sure we have matching ones wherever you are. Yeah. And it was phenomenal because it wasn't just Germany getting through to the next round. The biggest thing was Germany got revenge on Brazil. Yeah. That they had lost.
Yeah.
Did it feel so good.
Oh my God! It sent a message to whoever was on the other side of the bracket that they were not playing that year.
Yeah.
That tournament they were not playing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing I also liked about that particular game too was that nobody had anticipated in the wildest dreams Brazil at home is going to lose not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I love to go on 6 and 7. 7-1.
Yeah.
Unfathomed.
Yeah.
There was no threshold for that to happen. It shouldn't have happened.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I was super glad it went. I know exactly what game, and I'm with you on that one. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to Miroslav Klose.
You're watching. Now, I'll say, Alagan, you seem like you're cut from the same cloth as myself. And I know myself, my sibling as well, we've done crazy things for football. If that was to go watch a game or if we were going to go to a live game or anything like that. What do you think? Is there anything crazy, or what would you say is the craziest thing you've done for football, or maybe meeting someone, or an autograph, anything with the football world? What would you say?
Craziest thing. Nothing. As a Canadian, it was kind of hard to do things like crazy like that for my idols, like because they were all in Europe. I was very young at the time, like
Sure. Yeah,
hard
fair
to
enough.
get to Europe.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I did cut class. I did like skip class just so I can watch like Champions League games because they'd be on at 3:00 our
Oh, I
time.
know. Yeah.
So I'd always just skip class because I was like, this is important.
You know what? It was. Sometimes it absolutely was. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure a few people, not that we're promoting that, to skip class and stuff, but
Yeah.
been there. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Was it you? You with friends?
Usually with my cousins, we'd all just skip and then meet up at my grandma's house and watch games there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
No one heard the chanting when somebody scored, like, shh, quiet it down.
We were lucky that all the adults were at work at this point at 3:00.
Yeah.
And it was just our grandma who was home, and she was not used to our noise. So yeah.
She didn't know. She was probably like, they're probably busy with a project.
Yeah.
It's good. You know what? Since we're talking about matches, watching a lot of football and stuff, there's a lot of people that are very paranoid when it comes to having certain rituals so that their team wins or things like that. Now, I know not everyone is that extreme. With that being said, do you have any kind of ritual or anything that you do to make sure Bayern's going in 100% to win that game?
There has been times, maybe it's just like my brain noticing things, but sometimes I'll wear Bayern's kits while watching the game, and but sometimes I don't. And I found that when I wear their kits for important matches, they lose.
Oh,
so I've stopped wearing my Alphonso Davies kit or my Lewandowski kit or whatever kit it may be. I've stopped wearing it right before a match, and I just watch the match in my normal clothes because I think I don't know.
Have you ever been tempted when they're winning like 4-1? It's like 80th minute. You're like, let me go slip this shirt on now. They can't lose.
I have not. I mean, I probably should have done that for the Madrid Champions League game,
right?
2 years ago.
Yep.
I was so excited because it was such a horrible season for like Bayern Munich standards.
Yeah.
But we were in a Champions League semifinal, and so I watched it in my living room. I put my dog in a Bayern kit, put like the Bayern hat on him, and I had my kit on. I was so excited, and then Davies scored.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, to the moon. And then I should have taken the kit off right there. And then
so while you're ahead kind of thing.
And then Joselu scored 2 goals in 90 minutes, and
Joselu, never thought man comes in on a loan and he does what he has to do, but
he does it like that as a game of his life.
And you know what? That's the thing. That's about football. You never know who's capable of. I mean, that's the thing about sports.
Yeah.
I think that's why we all love sports.
Yeah.
We're all into it. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
The only thing you need is the access to it, if it's a radio or TV or whatever, and belief.
Yeah.
Belief that your team's going to win.
Yeah.
And I love how, till the 93rd, 94th, 95th, 97th minute, no one lets go hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're holding on to that hope. So I really like that part.
If I could interrupt you.
Sure, please do.
That statement just brought back one of the craziest things we've done for football.
Yeah.
So my dad and I, we were coming from a long trip somewhere. I don't remember what. And TFC was in the semifinals against Montreal.
Impact, yeah.
Yeah. This was, I don't know how many years ago now. It must be 6 at least.
Yeah.
Maybe 5-6 years. And it was a crazy game. And we were listening to it on the radio. And I believe it turned 4-4 going into extra time. I can't remember the facts. But my dad, he literally pulled over and was like, we're going to a bar right now. So he drove to a bar, whichever bar we found that was close, and we walked in, like whatever road trip we were on, whatever, who cares? And we sat and watched the game, and like caught the extra time, and TFC ended up winning that.
That's amazing.
It was unreal. It was unreal.
Now, you mentioned something that I wanted to touch upon earlier, but I was going to circle back to, but I think it's a good time to do it now. You mentioned that, you watch out with your father. So most of the time, we're always influenced by siblings, family, or friends, perhaps. What was the influence? Who played an influence in your life when it came to football?
Definitely my dad. If you're talking about close influence, my dad. I think it was his dream to always play football or like be a football player.
For sure.
So when he got to Canada, like he imposed that dream on his 3 sons.
Okay.
So all me and my 2 brothers, we've been playing football since we were like 4 or 5 years old, and haven't stopped. We were big footballing family, and then it got to the point where at 8 or 9, my dad was spending so much time in football anyways that he decided to become a coach.
Yeah.
So he became a coach, and he coached my team for like 2 years, and that was great because it was like my dad kept pushing us to keep playing, to enjoy the sport, to like fall in love with the game. Yeah. He gets upset at it now. He's like, "Oh, all you guys do is refer things to soccer, and it's like it's his fault. But for sure, he was our influence, like to play.
That makes sense. A parent usually too. Mm-hmm. I have to ask, was he a Bayern Munich fan?
No.
What was he a fan of?
I don't know if he watched football like that growing up. Gotcha. I think he just more like always wanted to play, but never had like the opportunity.
Was there maybe a player that he was a fan of?
Maradona.
I figured.
Maradona.
I feel like that most people from older generations will either be like Maradona, or it'll be like, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Our Brazilian legend, one of the greatest legends of all, Pele. Sorry, Pele, or Maradona. So I feel like that's what that group was. Yeah. Now we've inspired a new generation. Is Ronaldo or Messi? You know what I mean? If you are going to a game of your choice, it's an important game. Yeah. You have 2 extra tickets. All right. This is a question that might start fights at home. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. You have 2 extra tickets. Who are you taking? And I'm busy, so exclude me.
Both my brothers for sure. Neither of us have experienced a game in Europe. Yeah. We've seen games here, but like we've all talked about like that atmosphere, like being able to go there, being able to watch like an important game like that. Definitely those 2. Fair enough. Yeah, definitely those 2.
Well, again, we're almost towards the end of our time, so I'm going to ask you a few wrapping up questions. Put a nice, clean bow on this and wrap it up. The first one is that, considering that we're here drinking beers, right? There must be a footballer that, if you could sit opposite a table and share a beer with and ask the questions you want to ask, who would that person be?
It's so niche. I mean, not niche. Sorry, it's so common. It has to be CR7.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
It has to be. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I
mean, CR7 would definitely. I think many people would agree with you. Everyone has their own reasons. I would like to know why you. What would be your reasons?
For him, like why I want to coffee chat with him.
Why would you pick him out of all the players? I know you mentioned. And when you were talking about Klose, it seemed like you have that genuine love for Klose. Yeah. So I know how I feel about the players that I feel passionately about, but it's so difficult choosing one. Yeah. You've done that. Yeah. Why is CR7?
Like, growing up, watching him play, watching him do what he does, I was literally in awe. Like, how can someone be just so good at what they do time and time again? Like he's always never in doubt to make an impact in a game. Agree. It was never in doubt. And then the whole, like, growing up, you hear stories of like, I mean, we still do, but like he's first to training, last to leave. He doesn't drink. He doesn't have tattoos. Like does all these things like that shows like he's like so committed to his craft. Yeah. And I would just like to, if if I ever have a conversation with him, I would just like to know like just like how, because it's easy. Like if you just think about it in like life perspective, like a lot of people don't even have that kind of commitment to their life,
Yeah.
but you see it time and time again, and I would just love to know.
I mean, I get it. I can relate and respect. I think it's a mutual respect thing. Like you said, when you have so many people saying, you know, first player into training ground, last one out, their stories are real. Ferdinand even talking about how much he was the last one staying back practicing free kicks, and then somebody else coming in. If it was ever someone saying he was there when we already arrived. I mean, I can understand the respect and the hard work. Why anyone, any young person would be like, you know, that's someone that would be a role model or things like that. And the other things you mentioned, the tattoos and all of that. Thank you, man. It was a great selection as well. And with that last sip, and our conversation will come to an end. So what we're doing is one beer, one fan, sharing some stories, and the football passion never stops. So I would say thank you for sharing your time with us and our pint with you guys. Thank you for the love for the game, and you know, joining us with us. Alagan, do you have anything to throw in there before we wrap this up?
No, thank you for having me.
My
This
pleasure,
was a great
sir.
time.
I appreciate your time. I wish Bayern Munich the best. Not too well because my team needs to do well too, and I'm not a Bayern fan like that. And but yeah, good luck to you, sir. And until the next time, cheers and see you at the next round.